Hello, ladies, and welcome to my wellness video series. Today is our first video of our weekly series. When I asked you all last week to let me know what it is you want me to talk about in these videos, or what are the most pressing issues for you, one of the ones, which wasn't a surprise, that came up the most is emotional eating. And this is something I hear about from my clients every single day. It is probably the number one issue for women when it comes to eating. How do we end emotional eating? Why does it happen, and how can I end it? How can I stop it? How can I control myself from eating emotionally all the time? And so, like I said, this is what I'm going to start with today. It's not something that I can completely explain 100% in a few minutes, but I just want to give you an idea of the things that can lead up to emotional eating, why you eat emotionally, and then some of the things that you can do to help yourself overcome emotional eating. In my nutrition school, Institute for Integrative Nutrition, which takes a completely holistic approach to health and wellness, we learned that there are two main theories when it comes to nutrition. You have something called primary foods, and that is anything that feeds your soul. So your relationships, the things you love doing, your passions, your career, how you move, exercise, your spirituality. Those are things that fill you up, but they're not things you actually consume. We call those primary foods. The second one is called secondary foods, and those are things you actually eat, the things that actually feed the physical body, okay? And notice that the things that feed your soul, we refer to them as primary foods, and the things that feed your body, we call those secondary foods. So the things that feed your soul are actually more important than the actual food that you feed your body. And this is why. When any one of your primary foods, okay, so whether relationships or whether or not you exercise or your spirituality or your career, okay, when any one of those is not fulfilled adequately for you, or there's an imbalance where you give one area a lot of attention and you ignore the other ones, what we tend to do as human beings, whether consciously or unconsciously, is we try to fill that gap with secondary food, with food. And sometimes you're aware that you're doing that. Like, if you've had a fight with your husband or you had a really bad day at work, you're going to come home and you're going to find release in your favorite comfort food. So sometimes we're really aware about that and we're aware of that connection. Other times we're not, or we're not aware to the extent that a lack in one area of our life can be affecting the way that we eat. So when you're approaching emotional eating, if this is a huge issue for you, instead of worrying about trying to control yourself, okay, and trying to, okay, I'm not going to have that cake, I'm not going to have that cookie, I'm not going to have that pizza, try and think of why you want that cake or that pizza or that cookie. What's leading you to that, okay? Take a moment and review those main areas of your life. Think about your relationships, okay? Your major relationships. So with your spouse, with your parents, with your siblings, with your best friends. Are these relationships that are mutually supportive? Do you feel that you give as much as you take? You love as much as you are loved? Or is it one where you are giving, and not getting anything in return? Very important to think about when it comes to relationships. When it comes to doing what you love or your career, are you going to your job day in, day out and excited about it? Do you think, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get up and get to my office and get to work on this next project? I love my boss. I love my colleagues. I am, fulfilling my goals and I'm reaching my potential. Or do you wake up in the morning and think, okay, I just have to go to this job because, it pays the bills. It's a really good job. What am I going to do? I don't have time to pursue my passions, or, who can? That's a luxury to pursue what I really want to do. So that could be eating at you at another level. Are you really fulfilled? Are you really doing what you love to do or not? Exercise, very simple, basic one. Our bodies are meant to move. We are not meant to be sitting in a desk chair at an office for hours at a time, or sitting at home on the couch. We are meant to move, and move a lot, okay? So are you giving your body what it needs? If not, your body's going to ask to be fulfilled in another way. There's going to be a gap, and so you're going to fill it with food. Lastly is spirituality. So It's not my place to tell you how to be spiritual or how to do religion or any of that, but just ask yourself, do you have enough spirituality to get you through your days? Do you look to a higher power for peace, for, for trust, for faith? This is a really important piece, okay? All of them are very important, actually, all four. And the goal is not to be perfect in all four areas. The goal is to be balanced in all four areas so that you're not giving one area more attention than the other. So you're not a career woman who doesn't give enough time at home, or you're not a full-time mom who's ignoring her real desires, or you're somebody who's really, really spiritual, and so you decide that you're just going to spend your whole day in prayer and ignoring everything else. You want balance across all of these. And when all of these areas are balanced, naturally you stop looking for food to fill those gaps. You don't need to fill those gaps because you're filling them in yourself. Now, there's another dynamic to emotional eating, which is a physiological piece. And that's literally when you go to comfort food, it sets off a chain reaction that you just keep wanting to go back for more and more comfort food. So I've created a video training specifically around that to explain to you the specifics of that, how that happens. And you can find the link for that in the comments below. Sign up so you can get that training. That explains, literally what happens inside your body when you go for sugar. So that's it for the little video today. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know your thoughts about what I've said. Has it triggered something for you? Are you realizing things about yourself that possibly you can see the link between a gap in your primary foods and why you reach for the emotional foods? And let me know in the comments and we can have a conversation about it. Thank you.